Imagine the first walk of your day. You get out of bed, place your foot on the floor, and take those first steps around the house. And that's exactly when many people feel it. The knee is stiff, sensitive, sometimes it even feels a little rusty. The person tries to walk normally, but the body does something without even noticing. It starts walking with the knee locked, slapping the foot on the ground, shortening the stride in a strange way, or shifting the weight to the side to escape the pain. And then the doubt appears. Is walking making my knee worse? Or am I walking the wrong way? I'm a physiotherapist, and let me tell you a simple truth. A lot of knee pain doesn't come from walking itself. It comes from the way you walk when your body is stiff, weak, or afraid. And that wrong pattern, repeated every day, irritates the knee without you even realizing it. Today I'm going to show you exactly what you need to stop doing when you walk. And more importantly, I'll teach you a quick morning routine, just 3 to 5 minutes, to loosen the joints, activate the right muscles, and make walking start helping instead of making things worse. Stay with me until the end, because I'll give you a simple checklist so you can immediately feel whether you're walking better and how to adjust before the pain increases. Before I show you the mistake, I need to break a belief that keeps many people stuck in pain. A lot of people think that if the knee hurts, walking is automatically bad, so they start avoiding it. Do you think like that? Comment below, yes or no, so I can know. But what I see in practice as a physiotherapist is a different story. Most of the time, the problem isn't the walk itself. It's walking with a cold, stiff body and with a movement pattern that puts the wrong load on the knee. After 60, or after a more sedentary period, the muscles that should protect the knee are often weaker and switched off. So the body tries to protect itself in the easiest way, locking the knee, slapping the foot on the ground, taking short, tense steps, or letting the knee collapse inward. But that protective strategy can be costly, because you lose muscular shock absorption and the load ends up concentrated in the joint. And this isn't just something we notice in the clinic. Recent observational studies have found that certain gait patterns, like asymmetrical walking and longer steps, are associated with worsening knee pain over time. So here's the good news. This is trainable. You don't need to stop walking. You just need to walk with the right pattern and prepare your body beforehand in a quick, simple way. And if you enjoy this kind of content, with practical and safe tips for knees and walking, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I post videos like this regularly, always with simple explanations and routines you can easily do at home. Mistake number 1. The first walking pattern that irritates the knee the most is something many people do without realizing it, especially in the morning or when they're afraid of pain. A long step, the heel slamming into the ground, and the knee slightly locked. In practice, it looks like this. You take a longer step than necessary, your foot lands way out in front and hits the floor. Sometimes you can even hear the sound. And because the body is stiff, you step with very little shock absorption. The knee doesn't bend slightly to cushion the impact. It stays rigid, as if it's trying to protect itself. But that protection becomes the problem. The impact travels up the leg, and the joint receives a harsher load, repeated step after step. This pattern usually gets worse in 2 situations. At the start of the day, when everything is cold and stiff, and when someone is trying to walk carefully but is actually walking tense. The intention is good, but the body goes into lock mode. So how do you know if you're doing this? 3 simple signs. First, the sound. Your walking becomes noisy, like you're slapping your foot on the ground. Second, the step length. It feels like your foot is reaching too far in front of your body, almost like you're trying to catch the floor. Third, the stiffness. It feels like the knee barely bends and the leg moves like a solid block. The adjustment starts with a simple idea. You don't need to walk slower. You need to walk softer. In a moment, during the morning routine, I'll show you exactly how to prepare your ankle and activate the right muscles so your step becomes shorter, quieter, and with a more alive knee without locking it. Mistake number 2. The second walking pattern that irritates the knee a lot is more silent, because you don't always notice it from the front. It's when the knee collapses inward with every step, along with the foot rolling inward, almost like the arch of the foot is collapsing. In practice, this creates a small, repeated twist. It's not a big twist, but it's that annoying, constant rotation that happens hundreds or thousands of times during a walk. And the ones who usually pay the price are the inside of the knee, the front of the knee, or even that feeling of instability, like the leg isn't quite solid. And why does this happen? Most of the time, it's not a defect in the knee. It's a lack of support from the hip and the foot, ankle. When the lateral glute is weak, it doesn't keep the leg properly aligned. When the foot is too loose or the ankle is stiff, the knee compensates. That combination makes the knee search for stability in the wrong way. Now let's do a quick 20-second test. Stand up near a wall just for safety. Look at your knees and your feet. Now do a very small mini squat. Just go down a little and come back up. If during that movement your knee collapses inward, getting closer to the other knee, or if you feel the arch of your foot sinking too much, that's a sign the same thing may be happening when you walk. Another simple sign. Look at your sneakers. If they wear out much more on the inside, or if they look tilted inward, that may indicate your foot is collapsing and pulling the knee along with it. The good news is that this improves quickly when you wake up the ankle and activate the hip the right way. And that's exactly what the morning routine will do. Unlock what's stiff and switch on the muscles that keep your knee tracking in the right path. Before we get into the morning routine, I want to give you a very practical way to know if your walking is helping or hurting your knee. No guessing involved. First, the quick test during your walk. Pay attention to 3 things. The sound of your step. Is it loud, slapping the ground? The length of your step. Are you reaching far out in front? And the alignment. Do you feel the knee collapsing inward or the foot rolling inward? If you noticed one of these signs, it's already worth making an adjustment. Now here's the most important rule, the 24-hour rule, which I use a lot in physiotherapy. Walking is good for your knee when you finish feeling looser or the same as when you started, and the next day you don't wake up worse because of that walk. But walking is irritating the knee when you finish feeling more sensitive, with pressure, warmth, or swelling, or when the next day you wake up stiffer, with more pain when standing up from a chair or going downstairs. So think of it this way. It's not just about what you feel during the walk. It's how your knee behaves afterward. If it consistently gets worse within the next 24 hours, the load went too far, or the movement pattern is wrong, and the solution isn't to stop walking altogether. It's to adjust the way you walk and prepare your body beforehand. And now, I'm going to show you the morning routine. Just a few minutes to unlock the ankle and knee, activate the hips and thighs, and make your steps shorter, quieter, and much more stable. Now let's move on to the first part of the morning routine, mobility. The idea here is simple. You're not going to stretch to the limit. You're going to loosen up the joints so your body stops walking stiff and locked up. Do this in 3 steps, and it takes about 3 minutes. First, ankle mobility against the wall. Stand facing a wall and place your hands on it. Put one foot forward, firmly planted on the floor. Now bring your knee toward the wall and back, slowly, while keeping your heel glued to the ground. Do 8 to 12 reps, then switch sides. It may seem small, but it changes a lot because a stiff ankle makes the knee compensate and rotate more than it should while walking. Second, oil the knee with small bends and straightens. Stand with your hands supported on the wall or the back of a chair. With your feet hip-width apart, bend and straighten your knees just slightly, like a tiny mini squat, just enough to wake up the joint. The movement is small, smooth, and without sharp pain. Do it for 30 seconds, feeling the knee warm up and loosen. In the third part, we're going to loosen the hip with a simple standing rotation, because a stiff hip makes the knee compensate during walking. Stand tall, and if needed, place one hand on the wall for balance. Your standing leg stays firm on the ground, with the foot pointing forward. Now lift one knee in front of you, as if you were about to take a high step without leaning your body backward. Then open that knee out to the side, drawing a small arc, and bring it back to center. After that, lower the foot with control and repeat. It's like lift, open, return, and lower. The movement is smooth and small. This is not about chasing maximum range. It's about waking up the hip and helping your stride stay more aligned. Do this for 20 to 30 seconds on each side at a comfortable pace. Keep your breathing natural, avoid twisting your trunk, and don't let the standing foot turn outward. If you feel any sharp twinge in the knee, lower the knee less and open it less to the side. That's it. If you only do this part, many people already notice that their stride feels less stiff and the knee responds better in those first steps of the day. Now comes the part that really changes things: activation. Because mobility loosens things up. But activation is what makes the knee stop compensating. The idea here is to switch on 3 areas that protect your knee when you walk: the hip, the thigh, and the calf. And you'll see it's simple. It takes just another 2 or 3 minutes. First, activate the side glute, because it's the muscle that keeps the knee on track and prevents that inward collapse with each step. If you have a mini band, place it a little above your knees. If not, you can do it without the band too. Standing up, with your hands supported on the wall, knees straight but not locked, gently push your knees outward against the band and come back. It's a short movement, like you're waking up the side of the hip, not doing a max effort exercise. Do 12 to 15 reps. You should feel a light burn on the side of the hip and glutes. If you feel it in the front of the knee, reduce the range and make the movement smaller. Second, activate the thigh with seated knee extension, because this turns the muscle on without impact and without confusing it with a squat. Sit in a sturdy chair, in a comfortable posture, and slowly straighten one leg as far as feels comfortable. Hold for 1 second and lower it slowly. Don't kick fast and don't lock hard at the end. Do 8 to 12 reps on one side, then the other. The goal is to feel the thigh working and the knee becoming more guided, more secure for walking without locking up. Third, activate the calf because it helps with ankle stability and makes the stride feel lighter. Standing with your hands on the wall, slowly raise your heels, hold for a second at the top, and lower with control. Do 10 to 15 reps. If it feels easy, do it more slowly. If it feels hard, make it smaller. The important thing is to feel the calf wake up. And that's it. Now that your body is loosened up and switched on, here comes the final step of the routine. Walk the right way for 30 seconds to teach your body the new pattern. Now that you've done the mobility and activated the muscles, I want to give you a simple checklist so you can walk the right way and instantly feel whether the routine is working. First, 3 signs that you're on the right track. The first is the sound. Your walk becomes quieter. If you stop slamming your foot into the floor, you've usually reduced unnecessary impact too. The second sign is the step length. Your steps become a little shorter and your foot lands closer to your body instead of reaching for the ground out in front. That helps the knee avoid taking a harsh load. And the third sign is a more alive knee. It doesn't move like a stiff bar. It bends a little, just enough to absorb impact. Your leg feels more springy and more stable. And here's one detail that helps a lot. In the first 30 seconds, you don't need to do it fast. You need to do it right. If you nail the pattern at the start, your body tends to keep that pattern for longer during the walk. Now I'm going to wrap up with 2 important points: when you should not push through and how to fit this routine into your day without turning it into yet another chore. If you notice frequent swelling, warmth in the knee, strong locking, very intense pain, or that feeling that the knee is truly going to give way, or if the pain gets clearly and repeatedly worse in the 24 hours after walking, that's a sign that something beyond walking pattern may be going on. It could be more sensitive osteoarthritis, joint effusion, inflammation, an irritated tendon, among other causes. In those cases, it's worth seeking a medical evaluation or seeing a healthcare professional to examine the knee more closely. Living with pain is not normal, and you don't have to accept it as just getting older. And just to be clear, this is not about panicking. It's about having direction. The goal is to walk better and more safely, not to prove your toughness. Now, how do you fit this into your day? Do this routine in the morning for 5 minutes before your first walk. If you notice that your knee feels looser and your steps become quieter, great. You've just given your body exactly what it needed: unlocked joints and activated muscles. Now tell me in the comments, which of these mistakes did you notice in yourself? And after you do this routine tomorrow, come back and let me know if walking felt easier. And if you want a more structured path, with a ready-made progressive routine to relieve pain and build strength and stability, I left the knee pain relief program in the first pinned comment. Take a look when you have a moment. It may be a great option for anyone who doesn't want to keep guessing what to do. And here on the channel, there are other videos teaching specific exercises for the knee, hip, and stability, so you can keep getting stronger and make walking work in your favor. So if this video helped you, subscribe and watch the next ones, because I always teach in a simple, safe way. No over-the-top nonsense. See you in the next video.